Hello, ladies and germs. Mr. Harris here. Wanted to make a quick video that explains what's expected of you during class today. Lucky for you guys, you don't have to look at my ugly mug today because I'm going to be gone at a wedding. But I wanted to just make sure that you knew what needs to be done and what needs to be turned in. So during class day, you're going to have three things you're going to be expected to work on. The first thing is this worksheet right here. Excuse my gross fingers with stain on them. But we're going to work on this worksheet, reading a ruler or a tape measure. You then have a Edpuzzle that is posted in Google Classroom. And finally, you're going to work on your Tinkercad challenge, either the Dream Room or the Tinktober challenge. I just want to remind you guys that on those challenges, they are meant to be very detailed. So if you're doing a Dream Room on your nightstand, you should have like a lamp and other things, maybe a lamp and some books. In your Tinktober challenge, remember this is something dealing with Halloween. It's not just you made a pumpkin, you made an entire scene, multiple characters, multiple things. This is supposed to take some time, that's why you have until the 31st to get that done. But to focus on what we are doing today, this worksheet here, we're going to kind of go through real quickly. This first part is just giving us a little history about how measurements and lengths came to be. As you can see here, it started with the Romans, the Celtics, the Anglo-Saxons. One notable story here is that King David I said that his thumb was 1 inch, so that's how the length of an inch was developed. The length of a foot was the length of his actual foot, and the length of a yard was the length of his stride. And obviously, we have perfected it since then. So, reading and using an imperial ruler or tape measure, like we have in the shop, the instructions are right here. It says, look at the ruler below, this guy right here. It has 8 equally spaced lines between each inch. So there's 8 lines between here and here, between 1 and 2, between 2 and 3. You guys most likely know this. But if we look at this, the longest lines are our whole inches. So this is 0. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The next longest line we have are halfway between the 2 lines. So that's our half inches. Half inch, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, and so on. In between those lines, we have our quarter inches, which I have highlighted in blue. Okay, and then in between the quarter inch lines are our 1/8 inch lines. So 1/8, 3/8, 5/8, 7/8. So each hatch mark represents 1/8 of an inch. So this is really 1, 2, 3, 4/8. But we don't say 4/8. We reduce that to its lowest term to be 1/2. Okay. This is really 6/8, but we reduced it again to 3/4. So make sure that you are reducing your fractions to the lowest term. Okay. Just to remind you guys, when we're looking at our fractions, the bottom number is the denominator. Okay. So it tells us how many parts of the whole consist of. So we're talking about fourths here. And the top number is the numerator. That's telling us how many parts we actually have. Okay. When we are adding fractions together, you guys can read through this, but the denominators have to be the same. So in this case here, we're working with eighths. So we have 3/8 plus 2/8. That's going to give us 5/8. 5/8 is in lowest terms because there's no common factors between 5 and 8. If we had 3/8 plus 3/8, we would get 6/8. The common factor between 6 and 8 is 2, so we would divide top and bottom by 2 to get 3/4. Okay? So, just a little background information for you guys. The back side is what you guys are going to be working on here. And it starts with 8, 9, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1 to 0. I don't know why it went that way, but it just does. But you are going to be telling me the measurement of each of these. Be careful. Look where the line starts. Okay, so this one here does not start at 0. So you're going to need to adjust your answer accordingly. Okay, so this needs to be turned in at the end of class. Everyone needs to turn it in. Make sure your name is on it. Instead of grade, put your hour. If you're hour 6 or hour 7. Okay, this needs to be turned. Everyone has to have it. Everyone then also has to do the Edpuzzle. You can work with a partner on both. That is totally fine. I said a partner. We're not doing groups of 3, 4, 5, and 6. A partner. Okay. Then when you're all done, you need to work on your Tinkercad challenge. Some of you are going to say, I've already done my Tinkercad challenge. It's done. I want you to go back and I want you to put more detail into it. Again, this is a project that's going to be taking up until the 31st. So I want to make sure that it is very detailed and a lot of effort is put into it. Okay? If you have questions, you can come talk to me on Monday. Thanks.